I'm here with Brad Cummings, the producer of the Shack movie. We're here in his home park, home turf, Thousand Oaks at Muvico. It is the 4th of March, and we're doing your last premiere. What does it feel like to be on your home turf today, Brad?
It's been fun, and we get our God Journey audience here. People have flown in from everywhere. They out of country, out of state. I mean, that's pretty cool.
And what does it feel like? This is your last premiere. It's March 4th. You've been to New York. You've been to Dallas. You've been Kansas City, Pepperdine.
This is where we actually March 4th. This is opening weekend. I think we're gonna do some great numbers. I think people's response to the movie has been fantastic. We were here Thursday night. We packed out all 14 theaters, and it was fun to stand here and watch people walk by, and they're all kind of like sniffling and smiling, and it just, 2,200 people tenderized by the heart of God. I don't think it gets any more fun than that. This will be an even more hometown audience. They've been listening to Wayne and I ever since we started shipping these out of our garage. So this is pretty neat to have the God Journey audience.
Now tell me about God Journey. There's people listening to us who don't know Wayne, don't know you, don't know God Journey. What are we talking about here?
A couple of former pastors, I refer to as, lovingly as the knuckleheads. We're talking about the love of Jesus that's sort of outside the normal parameters of your institutional box organization. And we're just following Jesus, talking about it. What does it mean to live loved? And it's every Friday we put up a new broadcast. There's maybe about, I think, 573 so far. That's a lot of conversations. Yes. People love them. We laugh a lot. And this audience has been with us from the very start. They were there for the beginning where we kind of teased people about this book that we were engaged with, and they were the word of mouth phenomenon that sort of, gave spark to this, and, it ultimately went from them as our audience to 22 million sold into 40 different languages. And no, we never saw that coming.
Wow. Wow. Now, what does it feel like to be here at the end of this whirlwind tour? You've been traveling around. You've been doing a lot of interviews. Are you going to sleep tomorrow? What are you going to do?
I slept last night, and that was really good. It's not the end. This is sort of just the beginning of, this is the big push. Went around screening it. It was neat to see audiences just about every shape, size, and color really deeply respond to the love of God. I think this is going to build and snowball. It's going to go into 50 different nations, and that will be rolling out from here until like June, July. And so a lot depends on how we do in these first few weeks, but we're number 3, on track to do about maybe 15 million this opening weekend, which for the kind of genre of movie that this is, which doesn't fit any of the genres.
That's right. Well, the book didn't either, right?
Yeah, which is fantastic. It's getting a great start, and the critics are struggling with it, and then everyone that watches it thinks it's amazing. So I've never seen the kind of disparity between the two. Kind of like the elections. I don't really know what the professionals do or think, but I love how the audiences are responding to it.
Yeah, I noticed on Rotten Tomatoes today we're getting 16% ratings from about 34 critics, but we're getting an 88% plus rating from about 6,400 raving fans. So what do you think?
I'm going to go with the raving fans. They're the ones that bought tickets. The other folks got free popcorn in a seat. I don't know what their problem is.
Now, what's next with the Shack? I know you have a website around the book, and there's a community being built. There's some ideas you're doing out there that people can engage further if they watch the movie. Is that right?
Yeah, the shackbook.com, that forum started around the book, and it used to crash servers left and right just because people, you come out of this movie and you need a little time to process what happened, but then there's a desire to talk about it. I mean, we ask more questions than honestly we try to answer, and there's nothing trite about it. I think people are wanting to sort out, who is this God really? And the forum's a phenomenal place to go and kind of be a part of a community that is enjoying sorting this thing out. There's some wonderful threads that have begun, but we figured from the book audience there was a great bunch of engagement. With the movie, it's going to go to a much wider audience. Have no idea where those people are necessarily coming from, but we've got a wonderful team of folks that just love up on folks in the forum. They do protect it, so I don't think you're going to go there and get bashed by anything. But if you got questions and you're interested in what's going on, that's a great place to kind of sort it out. I am in the midst of doing the thing called Papa's Heart to Heal, which is sort of digging into this whole dynamic a little deeper. We'll be sort of soft releasing different portions and chapters of that in the midst for people's kind of discussion and to engage with. But I'm excited. I think people are getting a new, fresh look at the eternal living God, but they're seeing a face of Him that is, I think, incredibly loving, incredibly engaging, and He's the one that pursues us. You know, religion has kind of painted Him into the mean, angry judge corner, which I don't think is accurate or fair to His heart. Right. This story kind of blows that up. I mean, I had one friend that was talking about you tackle the big issues that people have wrestling with God, and it's like, you know, hand grenade after hand grenade, you just sort of launch them into you know, the whole discussion. And then he said, but you provide some wonderful answers and clarity of how people can sort of sort through this. And I thought that was a very effective way of describing it.
That's wonderful. Now, Windblown Media is also the company behind not just partly the movie, but the book. What do you think about the book climbing the charts again? Did you expect that? Or?
I kind of did, because I figured, you know, those that weren't exposed to it, it is that engaging. I think a lot of people that have loved it have wanted to reread it, and so it's got a fresh new audience that's coming to it. You know, we took 256 pages and had to distill it down to its core essence in the screenplay of 120 pages. If you have enjoyed the movie, you will absolutely love a further development of all that stuff in the book. I mean, it's fantastic. So go out, get some more, windblownmedia.com. There's also two phenomenal books that are basically the foundation. The two books from Wayne Jacobson, He Loves Me and So You Don't Want to Go to Church Anymore. Those really are the seed bed upon which the shack was built. And, you know, for folks that are going like, I want some more of that, those are two phenomenal resources. We got a bunch more there. It's not a sales pitch, but if you're hungry, there are other things that you can go and enjoy.
All right, final kind of curveball question. What is your biggest aha that you've gotten after all of these screenings? You know, you saw us. What is your biggest moment that really touched you, or was an aha moment, or a biggest takeaway now that this has actually hit the silver screen?
You know, I think it has been how deep audiences have laughed. I mean, this is not a comedy, but there is some wonderful, touching humor in the midst of the unfolding drama, which is pretty intense, dealing with lots of tough life. Right. And I had a 12-year-old girl write me and just say, is God really that funny? Wow. And I was not expecting that at all, because I mean, I wouldn't have billed this as a comedy, but I was happily able to answer back, yes. I mean, I don't know why we think God is humorless. We have Him as this serious guy, and it's like, you know, life is serious, things are hard, but God is so engaging, and the fact that He is so relaxed in the midst of the stuff that overwhelms us ought to just give us a little hope and reassurance. And the other thing she asked is like, were those conversations real? And I kind of went, well, yes, in the fact that there's truth tucked into them. No, in the fact that none of us actually had those particular conversations with God. But when we were writing them, it certainly felt like it. I mean, I think that's the thing that I loved, is it made God very accessible and very relational. And I think that was my aha.
That's awesome.
That comes from a 12-year-old kid.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, congratulations, Brad. This has been a great success, and we're glad you're joining us. Enjoy the movie.